Joining me now is Superintendent Jack Dale. Welcome.
Thanks.
This is always an exciting time of year, the beginning of school. Tell me your impressions. You were out and about the first day of school. What were you seeing?
Well, one of the things I mentioned even to reporters is we're really blessed with amazing people, from teachers to principals to custodians and the maintenance people who got the facilities ready, our construction people who are dealing with renovations. So that's one thing you notice immediately is how smooth things run from day one. But it's the people. It's an amazing group of people we have.
And we have a lot of preparation that goes on over the summer.
Yeah,
we don't slow down over the summer.
Well, not at all, yeah. And you look at the cleanliness of the buildings and our custodial staff and the building maintenance staff, how much pride they take in whether it's an old building or a brand new one that we opened this year. And people take a lot of pride in their work. I remember walking in and meeting several first-year teachers who you would never know it was their first day of their first year because they are really well squared away and ready to go with the kids.
How many first-year teachers do we have?
We hired somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,900 new professional staff, from teachers to librarians, guidance counselors, psych, social workers, et cetera. And so it's about 1,900, a little over 1,900 new people.
To accommodate our incredible enrollment growth.
Yeah, we're above
Let's talk about that.
180,000, yeah.
180,000.
Amazing, yeah. We've grown, as I mentioned to the reporters, 15,000 kids over the last 5 years, and somebody pointed it out, that's bigger than the city of Alexandria school district. So, and puts it into perspective, and many school districts across the nation are not even at 15,000. So our growth alone sets us in a pretty high standing in the nation just in terms of that size alone. But now 180,000. It's all across the county. It's not any one hot spot or three hot spots. It's everywhere. And it's all grade levels, elementary, middle, and high school. One of the things we noticed is we were doing some analysis several years ago when the economy crashed basically and went through a depression. We had fewer people moving out of Fairfax County than ever before. Normally we have about 8,000 move in, 8,000 move out, and we had several thousand fewer people moving out of Fairfax County. So, one speculation is that people were not then or couldn't afford to sell, move to the suburbs, buy a bigger place, and that sort of thing. So, because of the economic situation they were in.
Right. So, how are we accommodating all this growth?
Variety of ways. Let's put it that way. One is just through the normal capacity that we have in our buildings. In some cases, we have more capacity than we have students. That's getting less and less true. We do have trailers, and then we are also putting on permanent additions into our buildings. In fact, probably about 80% of our capital improvement program goes toward renovating old buildings, older buildings, and putting additions on where necessary.
Right.
And then the final one that it's not real popular is boundary changes, which we've had several in the last few years. We'll have another boundary study starting this winter, going through the spring probably, where we look at the Fairfax High School and the contiguous high schools. The board has yet to decide how many of those contiguous high schools will be in the study.
Right.
But we have severe overcrowding in the Fairfax High School and Lanier Middle School, so we've got to move kids into some adjoining schools that have more space.
Right, because Fairfax City's population is growing as well?
I'm not sure about the city. I pay more attention to all the kids we serve. But we clearly have more and more kids going into those schools, because even though the schools I mentioned are part of Fairfax City schools, they build the plants and then we operate. We provide all the teachers, everything that goes in the operational side of things. And so as we have more kids coming into those schools, and it's probably more than 50% of the attendance in those schools is from kids who are not part of the city. They're part of the adjacent county lands.
Right, so something will have to be done about that. We opened 2 new schools.
Yes, one of them is Mason Crest Elementary School, which was an old site that had been an elementary school, converted to administrative, and then completely leveled and now built and tucked into a nice community, and beautiful, just beautiful. And then one that's actually been around, available for use a little longer than Mason Crest is South County Middle School. And so we have to rename that South County Middle School and then rename South County Secondary School now to South County High School.
Right.
So that little technical change there as we change the titles.
And then we moved Graham Road.
Yeah, we moved Graham Road Elementary School into a new location. So it's still called Graham Road Elementary, but it moved to what used to be called the Devonshire location. Much bigger footprint of land, so there's much greater space for kids in the playground, much bigger facility. And we'll eventually use that for to deal with some overcapacity issues or overcrowded situations in potentially some adjacent schools to Graham Road Elementary School.
Very good. Now, let's get a little preview of the budget.
Oh, yes.
In 1 minute.
In 1 minute, we're already looking at next year's budget, not the current year, but the following year. And just because of some of the way the funding mechanisms go and our use of one-time reserve for the Virginia retirement system, we are going to be facing tens of millions of dollars of shortfall. So we're going to have to be working with the county on some kind of a transfer increase to make ends meet. Otherwise, we'll have to do those dreaded things of increasing class size or cutting programs.
Yeah.
So we'll have to work closely with the Board of Supervisors on that. Really, it's dealing with all the enrollment growth, because this year it's over $40 million dealing with additional kids. Next year we're projecting over $20 million to deal with the enrollment growth that we don't see an end in sight for. So that's putting a real crimp on our budget.
Yeah. Well, thank you for welcoming us back to school.
Thanks.
And we'll see you again soon.
Thanks.